Are you tired of growing tomato plants that only give you a few fruits, even though you worked so hard all season? You plant them, water them, and care for them. But when it comes time to harvest, the results just don't match the effort. Well, in today's video, we're going to fix that problem for good. I'm going to show you 3 very simple but extremely powerful techniques that will turn your tomato plants into heavy producers. These are the same tricks I've used in my own garden to get more tomatoes than I ever thought possible. So stay with me until the end of this video. And of course, don't forget to like this video, share it with your gardening friends, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see your garden thrive all season long. Let's get straight into the first and most important tip. It all starts with how you build your tomato bed. A lot of people don't realize this, but the way you prepare the bed at the very beginning will make or break your harvest later. The secret here is to give your plants a home that's full of life, food, and comfort. First, before you even think about planting, spread a thick layer of vermicompost on top of your garden bed. Vermicompost is like black gold for tomato plants. It's packed with nutrients, but even more importantly, it's full of tiny beneficial microbes that make your soil rich and alive. These microbes help unlock nutrients in the soil and make them easier for your plants to absorb. On top of that, vermicompost keeps your soil light and airy, while holding just the right amount of moisture. It prevents roots from drowning, but also stops the soil from drying out too fast. Now, once your vermicompost layer is ready, it's time to dig the planting holes. You don't want shallow holes. Tomatoes love to be planted deep. Dig holes that are at least twice as deep as the root ball of your seedlings, and space them about 10 to 12 inches apart. Here's a bonus tip that I never skip. Before you place your plant in the hole, mix 2 tablespoons of fish meal fertilizer into the soil at the bottom of each hole. Fish meal is an incredible slow-release food that gives steady nitrogen and phosphorus to your plants over time, feeding the roots and strengthening the stems long after planting day. Now get your tomato seedlings ready. Pinch off the lower leaves from the stem, especially any that would end up below the soil line. You don't want leaves touching the soil because that can invite diseases and pests. Bury the stem deep into the hole so that only the top cluster of leaves is showing above ground. When you do this, the buried stem will sprout new roots all along the part that's under the soil. This makes the plant stronger, sturdier, and able to suck up even more nutrients and water. Once the plant is in, press the soil gently but firmly around it and water it deeply. That's how you build a bed that will set your tomatoes up for a massive harvest right from the start. Now let's move on to tip number 2, feeding your plants at just the right time. About 15 days after planting, your tomatoes will be settled in and starting to grow fast. That's when they're hungry and ready to be fed again. This is the perfect time to give them a nitrogen-rich liquid fertilizer that you can make easily at home. And trust me, your plants will love it. Here's how I make mine. Start by gathering the lower leaves and suckers you pruned from your tomato plants. These parts don't make fruit and often attract disease, so pruning them helps the plant, and we can turn them into fertilizer. Instead of throwing them away, chop all the leaves and suckers into small pieces to speed up decomposition. Now grab a bucket and toss in all the chopped leaves. Add a generous scoop of worm castings, or compost if you don't have worm castings. Worm castings are my favorite because they are teeming with nutrients and beneficial microbes that tomatoes crave. After that, fill the bucket with non-chlorinated water. If you're using tap water, just let it sit uncovered for 24 hours first to get rid of the chlorine. Mix everything well and loosely cover the bucket with a cloth. Let it sit and ferment for about 10 to 14 days. Don't worry about the smell. It's a good sign. When it's ready, strain the liquid and dilute it by mixing 5 liters of the fertilizer with 10 liters of water. Pour this magic brew directly around the base of your tomato plants. The nutrients will rush into the roots and power up the plants fast, making them stronger, greener, and loaded with flowers and fruits. Finally, let's talk about tip number 3, pruning. This is where a lot of people go wrong. Either they prune too much, or they don't prune at all, and both can hurt your harvest. The right way depends on the type of tomato you're growing. If you're growing determinate tomatoes, the kind that grow to a certain size, produce all their fruit at once, and then stop, you don't want to prune heavily. Just remove the bottom leaves to keep them from touching the soil. That's it. Removing more than that can actually reduce the amount of fruit you get. But if you're growing indeterminate tomatoes, the ones that keep growing and producing all season long, pruning is your best friend. Start by removing all the lower leaves that are close to the soil. Then find the suckers, those little shoots that grow in the joint between the main stem and a branch. Pinch them off carefully. These suckers grow into full branches and can make the plant bushy and crowded. By removing them, you focus the plant's energy on making fruit, not leaves. I like to leave 2 or 3 strong main stems and prune everything else. This keeps the plant open, airy, and easy to manage. Sunlight and air will reach the fruit better, which means fewer diseases and bigger, healthier tomatoes. So there you have it. Build a rich bed with vermicompost and fish meal, feed your plants with powerful homemade liquid fertilizer after 15 days, and prune smartly based on the type of tomato you're growing. Follow these steps, and I promise, you'll be picking basket after basket of juicy, homegrown tomatoes this season. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure you hit that like button, share it with your gardening friends, and subscribe to my channel. I have plenty more videos about organic fertilizers, plant care, and gardening secrets coming up. You won't want to miss them.